Greetings, cheers, greetings. Um, I want to answer this question. I was watching Tracy last night. Y'all know I tell y'all all the time. I watch everybody. I watch everybody. I watch all y'all. I enjoy everybody's show. Make sure I'm on and y'all can hear me. Okay, I am on. Y'all should be able to hear me. Okay, I'm gonna wait just a few minutes, but not long, because I want to attempt to fit in two videos this morning, if possible. So we're gonna see if that's possible. I apologize for my voice. I'm just waking up, so well, I've been up. My voice haven't been in practice yet or haven't warmed up. So okay, I'm gonna get started. And then people can come as you want. Please hit the like button and please share this out to anyone who is going to Juicycation. And I always forget, and I'm not doing it to be in any way selective or mean or whatever, or any of that craziness, but I just forget the other group's name. Tracy and Pastor MU, as I call her, Misunderstood group, and then Jay's group, and anybody else who's going with the beef sector on the beef, what I call the beef sector cruise. And I call it the beef sector cruise. Hey, Red Hockey, I call it the beef sector cruise. Hey, Sally O'Malley, I call it the beef sector cruise because it's two groups, two well-known content creators in the beef sector that's leading a group. So that's why I call it the beef sector cruise. Hey, Ray Black, my moderator, I appreciate you so much. So last night I was over watching Tracy, because like I said, I watch everybody, and a question came up about the Cheers package. And I'm going to start with the question. The question was, does the Cheers package starts the moment you get on that ship? And the answer is yes. I just want to answer that right off the bat. And this is the Carnival site. I'm on the Carnival official site. Make sure it's not giving my name or anything, because I just realized sometimes it will give my information when I log on. But I am on the Carnival official site so that everybody can know that the information I'm giving is correct. Okay? And because there was a question about this, and I want to make sure that I get out, that people understand the correct information. So, does it start the same day? Yes, it does. The moment you get on that ship, you when you first get to the port, they check all of your paperwork. Y'all make sure that you have your correct. If you don't have a passport, if you do not have a passport, make sure you have the right birth certificate, and the name on your birth certificate match your ID. If there was some marital situations, bring your paperwork, like a copy of your marriage certificate if your married name changed and you don't have both names there. Like my married name changed, but mine says Jane Doe Smith. Jane Doe Smith. My birth certificate say Jane Doe. I'm married, so that'll work. But I have my passport, so that covers that. But I mean, for those of you who do not have your passport, and you can't have a copy of your birth certificate, it has to be the certified from the vital records. So please don't get there and have to go in the bad line to get all that straightened out and risk missing your cruise. And I might do a separate video real closer to the time to make sure that everybody have all the documents they need. But this one is about the alcohol. This one is about this question concerning the Cheers package. You get through the line, they check all your paperwork, take your pictures, give you, for your ID. They don't give you ID, they put it on the door now. They used to give it to you, but now they put it on the door. But they take your picture, and everything is straightened out to get what you need to go on through. And you excitedly walk across that threshold onto the ship. You got to walk through this little thing, y'all. I love that little thing that you have to walk through. I don't know what it's called, breezeway or whatever it's called. And you're on the ship. And they're still getting people on the ship, but the bars are open. And not only are the bars open, they're walking around with drinks in there, Bahama Mamas, rum runners, all types of drink specials and fruity drinks and pretty drinks and alcoholic drinks, walking around trying to sell them to you as you're sitting down, as you're exploring the ship. Do your drink package. If you bought a drink package, does it start that day? Yes, it does. The first thing I do when I get on the ship is go straight to the bar for me a Bahama Mama. I don't care if I'm going to Jamaica, Mexico. I don't care if I'm going to Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. I don't care if I'm going to Alaska. I go and get me a Bahama Mama. It's the thing I do. It's just the thing I do. And yes, your Cheers package starts when you sit down. The only difference is they're going to charge you for tax. Why are they going to charge you for tax? Because you're still in the U.S. You haven't entered international waters yet. You're still in the U.S. So let me see who's in the chat and see. And y'all, please pass this information on, because in Tracy's chat yesterday, they was going back and forth on it. I'm glad to read your post about this. I won't be leaving out of Texas or New York. And I'm going to cover that. I want my drink package from Giddy Up Jump. From Giddy Up Jump. And look, I'm going to say something that's going to be controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. They're already charging you for gratuity. Don't pay an extra gratuity unless that bartender was real nice to you. Meaning, a lot of bartenders will go ahead and hand you water, because included in your Cheers package is all your soda pops or sodas or whatever you call them. Coca-Cola, Pepsis, whatever you call them. That's included in there free. All of your bottled water is included in there free. All of your, like, if you go to go get a coffee, that's included in there free. You know, anything liquid is included in there free. But you're limited to 15 drinks with alcohol, beer, or wine. But everything else is included in with your Cheers package. So, and that starts the moment you get on that ship. And the reason why I say sometimes gratuity is already in the price that you paid with the drink package. Okay. And only time I give an additional tip, because they already tipped, because I prepaid it, right? Only time I give an additional tip to a bartender is when they go out their way to make my drink special, or they go ahead and hand me my hey Noble, thank you for coming in. Please get this information to Tracy, because she was the one that was asking about it last night in her chat. But so when they, I tip them if they like go ahead and hand me water when I drink, without me even having to ask for it, or a bartender to just go out their way. But otherwise, if you look at the price of your drink package, it's already included in there. First of all, I see cruise ship all the time because they work a fishing pier. Last time our people took a cruise, we became honey, if we don't do stuff because the last time we became a slave, we wouldn't do anything in life. That's going to always be our history, baby. Always be our history. But okay, moving on with the information. Let me get through this information. Oops, I just hit a button. I hope I ain't timing nobody out by mistake, because my fat fingers. So, hey, everybody, I'm going to speak to everybody. Let me get through some of this. I seen Benzone coming in at 300. Okay, so to prove what I just said, let me go right here. Beverage promoted and sold souvenir glasses. Okay, this is what the Cheers include. All spirits, libations, alcohol, liquor, as well as beer, wine by the glass with a $20 or lower menu price. That means anything over $20 is excluded, but anything below $20 menu price is included in your drink package. Sodas, 0-proof frozen cocktails, energy drinks. Those of you who like energy drinks, that is included. Specialty coffees, hot tea, 500 milliliter bottled water, and other non-alcoholic bottled beverages. Packaged waters in the dining room and specialty restaurant. 25% off the menu price for any spirit or wine by the glass above $20. So if it's above $20, they're going to give you 25% off. 25% discount on wine and champagne by the bottle. 25% discount on souvenir or seminars and classes off beverage seminars. So if you go to a beverage seminar class, they give you 25% off that. So it does not include if you get a souvenir glass. If you get a bottle of liquor, it does not include that. Beverage offered at gangway. It does not include that. Anything outside of the off the cruise ship. Room service, it don't include that. You cannot share floaters and pitchers. It does not include buckets and things like that. Beverage offered through Enomic. Enomic. Child, I'm ignorant this morning. Enomic. Wine machines. They don't even have those. I don't even know why they include that. All of our beverage related programs included merchandise, cigars, and cigarettes. Okay, so the only time you cannot get it on the first day, the only time you cannot get it for the first day is if you are porting out of Texas or New York. Cheers package begin on the second day for ships sailing from Texas and New York. Beefsteak cruise is going out of Miami. You're not going out of New York or Texas. Your package begins the moment you get on that ship. Like I said, the only thing is you will have to pay taxes. Applicable state and local taxes will be charged to the guest folio when his program is used within the U.S. waters. The tax is based on a state tax structure. So you're going to be paying whatever Florida tax is, if that's what you're going to be paying, and the cost of the individual drink packet purchase, not the daily program rate. For example, if a drink is $5, the tax is 10%. Okay, so you pay 50 cents would be added to your folio, your bill, until once that anchor is pulled and that ship starts selling, about 30 minutes in, all that tax stuff going to drop. Okay. Because now you're out into international waters. Cheers package is exclusive, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about European. Okay? So I hope that cleared that up. It does start moment you get on that ship, unless you are docking out of New York and Texas. That does not apply here. The beef sector is going out of Miami. So does that make sense? Hopefully. And that's for Royal. And somebody asked me, what's that for Royal too? That's for Royal and Caribbean. But this is a Caribbean cruise. So let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Let me speak. Oh, they went up the amount. It used to be anything above $15 wasn't included. Yeah. Will this live stay up? It's 4:30 a.m. here. Yes, Sally O'Malley, this live will stay up. It will stay up. Yeah. No, but that's in the Port of Miami. So whoever got the Cheers package, as soon as they step foot on that cruise, the only thing you paying is taxes. If you buy your $20 drink or a $15 drink, then you only going to pay about $1.20 for that drink, because you already bought the Cheers package until that boat starts selling. The sail away party, by the time you get to the sail away party, you are selling. That anchor has been pulled. You're considered international waters. That tax should start by the time you get to going. So if you want to wait till the sail away party to start drinking, so you can avoid those taxes, which is not a whole lot of taxes. It probably run you about $9 at the most if you're a heavy drinker, like myself. And if you're a light drinker, you drink a few beers here and a few beers, then it shouldn't run you that much. It ain't gonna be that much. But yeah, once you get out into that, once it starts selling, and some people are gonna say, well, you're still in Florida. It takes you a while to get to Bahamas. International waters is when that ship starts selling. Let me make sure. When cruising, when does it consider international water?
According to Maintenance and Cure, international waters, once a vessel is in waters that are more than 24 miles off the coast of a country, they are considered to be on the high seas and in.
Okay, so I was right. It's when that ship's, you could be selling, you still kind of in Florida, but because you're out in the water selling, that's international waters. Thank you, 300, for confirming that. So once they pull that anchor and that boat start floating, you are no longer then you paying nothing for your Cheers. If you got the Cheers package, and what happens is on your card there's gonna be a little symbol that says Cheers. They're gonna put it on that sticky. It should already be on there, especially if you already bought it. Now, if you buy it when you get on the ship, you're gonna have to wait. If you wait to get on that ship, you're going to pay a higher price. Make sure you buy that Cheers package. You have up to 48 hours before your cruise to get that Cheers package. No, correct myself. Cutoff for pre-purchase is 11:59 p.m. the day before embarkation and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time through call centers. Additional restrictions may see below. So you have up to 11:59 p.m. before the day of embarkation, and that's the day before you get on that cruise. So you have some time to decide whether you want it or not. But if you get it before, you can get it the moment you step your foot, your toe on that cruise. Like I said, whenever you get your bill, once you get out into international waters, it should say 0. It should say 0. Then you decide if you want to add a tip or not. Again, I add a tip if that person did something special, because as you can see here with the prices, the tip, the gratuity is already included in the price. $59 per day. And they're gonna, and if you do 59 times 3, you wonder where that extra charge come from. That's gratuity. That's gratuity that they pre-charging you. And we're gonna talk about gratuity, but let me say something else that's very important. Listen up. This is very, very, very important. Most of y'all already know, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's very important. If you have two people in that cabin, one person can get the Cheers package and the other person not. Can't do it. If one person get that Cheers package, both of you got to get that Cheers package. So when they charge you and you got two people in the room, when that charge come up, you're going to automatically see that they're charging times 2. If it's $60 a day, I'm taking it from 59 to 60. That's $180 plus taxes and gratuity and fees. They're going to go ahead and times that times 2 because there's two people in the room. There is absolutely no exceptions to that. I don't care what somebody can tell you. If you get a doctor's note for one person, there is no exceptions to that. Even if one of the people is pregnant. Not even if one of the people are pregnant. The only exception to that is if one of the people is under the age of 18. Not even 21. Under the age of 18. Then they're going to make that person get the soda package, the bubble package, which is about $10 a day, $11 a day, $12 a day. And that just includes sodas and things. But if both of you over the age of 18, two people in the room, you can't have one get it and the other one don't get it. Both people in the cabin have to get that Cheers package. So keep that in mind also. Also, do not get caught sharing. Do we share? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 300. I never do a dining package. No, I never do that. I eat what comes with my cruise ticket. Now I do go to that little. I do the seafood. Like I might do a lobster or a crab leg. That little seafood place that's right outside. 300. What is the name? The back area where they have the inside pool. And there's the pizza's back there, and there's another bar back there, and right beside it, they sell that seafood place. What is the name of that area back there? I can't remember the name of that area. Yeah, 300 said if you drink a lot, it eases the mind to knowing that you don't have to count how much money you spent on your cell card. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Red Hockey said, my advice to sisters, learn how to swim and don't fear getting your hair wet. Red Hockey, I have you know that I can swim very well. And in fact, I swim better underwater than above it sometimes. And when I'm out going on certain cruise, when I go on a cruise, or when I go out of the country and it's going to be beach involved, or if I go to like California or Florida or something like that, I get my hair braided, so I don't have to worry about that. I can go in the water, swim, wash it, and not have to worry about doing my hair every day. Let me make sure I spoke to everybody. Stay Stacy Robinson. Hey Benzone. Okay. So is the Cheers package worth it? Hey, right to be told. Is the Cheers, hey, Antagon H. Make sure I got everybody. Is the Cheers package worth it? If you drink heavy, not even heavy, if you drink more than 5 drinks per day, it is worth it. Sally O'Malley said, who travels out of the country without a passport? That was a question that me and a friend went over. And there are a lot of people who have passport issues. Traveling, I don't, now, y'all don't have to do this. This is just something I do. When I count how many times I've been out of the country, I don't count cruise. I do not count cruise. I do not count cruise. Because on the cruise, you're boarding from, even though I'm literally out of the country, as soon as you get to Bahamas or Jamaica or whatever, you're literally out of the country. You are indeed out of the country. But for me, I don't count cruise. And I'm going to answer this passport question with what I'm about to say. So, and I do have a passport. I've had a passport most of my adult life. But I don't count cruise because you get on in Miami or Orlando or somewhere in the United States, and you're getting off the cruise somewhere in the United States. That's why you can use your birth certificate, because you're boarding in the United States and you're getting off in the United States. Why do some people don't have passports? Felons cannot get passports. There is some exceptions. There's some workarounds, but they have problems getting it. People who owe back child support cannot get a passport. Again, there's some workarounds. I don't think there's no workarounds. There are certain situations where you're going to have an issue getting a passport. Cruising is a good option for people who want to see other countries who cannot get a passport, because you can use your birth certificate in a valid ID. I don't judge people. I don't passport shame. I don't like when people passport shame. If you can get a passport, you should, if you can. But if you can't, don't be ashamed. You can still travel out of the country by cruise as long as you're going out of the United States and returning to the United States. Ain't no shame. And nobody don't know who has a passport or who has a birth certificate. There was this lying TikTok up. Lying TikTok up. Talking about this is the birth certificate line. Everybody go through the same darn line. I have been on numerous cruises, and I have traveled with people who did not have a passport who were standing right in line with me. We both had to show our stuff and get through the same line, okay? And nobody know who has one and who don't. But some people just don't have a passport right now, and maybe not can get one right now. We don't passport shame. We encourage everybody. To travel in spite of your situation. Robin said, as long as you aren't on parole or probation, you can get a passport as a felon. Okay. I knew there was some workarounds and some things you had to do, but 300 saying you should never travel outside the country without a passport. If you get sick or have to be hospitalized, you don't have a passport, you get out of the hospital, good luck or leaving. Well, you can get out of the country without a passport unless you are cruising. That's the only way you can. That is the only way you can. You got to be cruising. And I think that if you get sick on a cruise ship, unless you are like very, 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 very sick, unless you're very sick, then I don't think they're going to leave you in another country. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're very sick, I've known of them to airlift people off with the helicopter. I've seen it. I've been on cruise where they drop their helicopter down and airlift somebody right on off that baby. You know what I'm saying? This guy, they hadn't even made it out of New Orleans. It was his honeymoon, and he got real drunk. And he fell from one deck on down to a few other decks, and they didn't turn that cruise ship around. They dropped the helicopter to come get him. Now, I have been on the cruise where they turned that cruise ship around. This was somewhere around 2014. We were selling out. We was maybe 45 minutes out. A lady was having a heart attack, or had a heart attack, and they turned the ship around, took her back, and we were delayed. We didn't get to go to one of our stops. We had to forfeit one of our stops because of it. But so, yeah, I mean, if you're going out of the country, you need a passport. Like if you crossing over by foot, train, airplane. But if you're going on a cruise, you docking here and coming back here, you don't need a passport. Okay. Yes, I encourage people to get a passport. I encourage, but on the flip side, I don't want people not to travel because they have passport issues. Please travel, and you can cruise. My ex-lady was quarantined due to motion sickness. You're speaking facts. Yeah, they'll take care of you. They have a whole medical center down in the bottom of that ship. They have a whole. Y'all would be shocked what's down at the bottom of that ship. Y'all would be shocked. There's a doctor, there's a nurse, they have medications. There's a whole medical center down there. So you should be fine unless you something, really, 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 really. Yes, there are 300. There are certain felonies that you can't, even if you're not on probation or parole. There are certain ones you cannot get passports, because I have worked with groups before, and there were certain people that, with all my jumping through hoops and doing everything I could, I was not able to help assist them in getting a passport. They were just not qualified. So, but you know what they was qualified to do? Go on over there to Vital Records and get their birth certificate, make sure their ID was up to date, and slide on right onto that cruise. So I don't like the passport shame. I do encourage people with everything within me to get a passport if you can, but I do not passport shame if you don't have one, and I encourage you to keep on traveling. Red Ring Soccer said, I so want to go on a cruise, but I admit I fear not seeing land. I'm bald head, so I fear my hair. I don't fear my hair. You don't even know. This is what I say. I don't force people to go on the cruise because there are so many ways to travel. I went on a train. I haven't been on a train that often because I used to fear trains. And the reason why I used to fear trains is because my cousin was hit by a train when I was about 7 or 8 years old. And it was in the train that he was hit by was just wasn't even a mile from my house. And then my school bus that I was on, but I got off. We sitting on the school bus and a train coming, and the bus stalled and would not crank. Now, of course, we got off that bus, and at that time I was about, I think when my cousin was hit by the train, maybe I was 8 years old. I'm thinking. And when my school bus got hit, I was 7 years old. Now, I watched the school bus get hit and split that bus in half. But we was all the children was off the bus. This happened in Thomasville, North Carolina, somewhere in about 1977, 1978. So y'all want to look it up. If y'all want to look it up, don't dox me, look it up. Thomasville, North Carolina, that train came down through there, that bus stalled. And we was getting off that bus from through the back of the exit and side of the exit, and people was stopping their cars in the middle of the street and running and coming and getting at us and carrying us across the street and everything. And we were all off the bus by the time that train hit it. That train lifted that bus some and split that sucker in half. So needless to say, I was scared of trains for many, 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 many years. But I took Amtrak about 2 weeks ago to DC. I have taken Amtrak's back and forth to the Panthers game up to Charlotte just to kind of get a feel of it. I think that I'm no longer afraid of trains. So I say that to say this: if you're afraid of sailing, if you don't like the whole sensation of not seeing land, don't sail. There, you can fly, you can drive, you can hike, you can walk, you can bus, you can train. I just encourage people to travel. Cruising has just happened to be my favorite mode. Yeah, I am here for the show. Yeah, I would like to. I want to take a long, what they call it, the scenic train, where it's like you go like maybe 2 weeks where you stop in different places and stuff like that. I would like to do that one day. I've heard of that, and I would like to. It's very. Hey, Switzerland, thank you for coming in, and congratulations on your new baby. I think I got the right Switzerland. 300. If you go to jail, you're not released by the time the ship leaves. You don't have a passport. Good luck getting out of that country. Well, I mean, if you got a passport and you in jail, good luck getting out of that country. I mean, we could throw a lot of things out here. We could throw a lot of things out here. But I'm not 300. Don't get me wrong. I'm not encouraging people not to get a passport. Everybody should have one. But if people can't just absolutely can't get one, what do you want them to do? Just stay home? If they just can't get one for whatever one of these circumstances, you think they shouldn't travel? Miss Cruiser, I'm in a tractor trailer driver, so I drive. Okay. Most people who drive, I have friends who drive trucks. They don't want to. They don't want to drive nowhere when they ain't working, and nowhere. I used to date a guy was a truck driver. I would drive. That was the only time I would drive, even his vehicle, because he was like, I've been driving. I drive 10 and 15 hours a day, But anyway. Let me see if anybody's in here. Robin, thank you for coming in. Hello. Okay, I change it to most felons. I've helped several people get them, but yeah, I'm sure some still. Yeah, Robin, most, like I said, there are some workarounds, and I have done some. I have assisted people in getting their passport who's had some issues. It was one guy, he had just finished paying off all of his, and his child was in college, all of his child support, and for some reason there was still a glitch on there. So we had to work and work and work, and he got his passport. It was like, it had to be like 2 weeks before our cruise. He would have been okay, but he wanted that passport. So I was doing everything I could to help him get that, because he wanted his passport. He felt like he had the right to have it, and he wanted that cleared up, and he got it. So, and I've worked with somebody who did some time in federal, and some federal time, and they ended up getting theirs. And then I worked with somebody who did some federal time due to transporting some drugs, and they were not able to get it. It was an absolute no. And they were told to wait a few more years and try again. So it happens. It happens. And this was years and years ago. This happened when they were in their 20s, and they're now in their 50s. So anyway. So is the drink package worth it? Is the drink package worth it? Yes. If you're a drinker, if you drink more than 5 drinks per day, most cocktails, if you're especially if you're like me and you like the more fruity drinks. I don't drink wine. I don't drink beer. I love mixed drinks. I might have a shot every now and then, but even a shot is $9 or $10. So if you're doing shots, or if you're doing mixed drinks, you're talking anywhere from $9 up to $15. 9 times 5 is 45. Because I'm going at the lowest rate. 9 times 5 is 45. The drink package is $60. You say, well, I'm saving money if I don't get the drink package. But do you get your water, your specialty coffees, your sodas, and all that with it? And most times, if you're a drinker, you're going to drink more than 5. Now, for those of you who hey, Peter Smith, thank you for coming in. For most of you, Peter Smith, we're not going to type like that now. We're gonna have to. You have to type it all out at once. I know your fingers may be like me. You might have them fat fingers. You may have them fat fingers, where But we're gonna try to. I appreciate you coming in though. Okay. If you only have a glass of wine a day, or you only have a beer here and there, then it ain't worth it, because if you're gonna have 3 glasses of wine at about $8, $24 a day, it ain't worth it. Buy you a pack of water, take it on with you, or buy the water for $4.95, which comes, I think, 12 in it. You're gonna be okay. It ain't worth it. But if you're a drinker, listen, I have rung that bell, not rung the bell. I have hit. Listen, I have gotten, hey, congratulations, you've hit 15 drinks. Haven't happened very often, but it's happened. If you get up in the morning, you have a mimosa, or you have what's that drink that got a Bloody Mary in the morning with brunch? You have a mimosa. That's one drink, and then about 2:00, let me get a glass of wine, and then at dinner you have about 2 more drinks. We up to 5 already. And then you go to the comedy show. Let me get me a drink. That's 6. And then later on you go to the club and you have 2 more. That's 8. 8 times 9. 8 times 9 is 72. Am I counting that right? What's 8 times 8 is 64? Y'all, I need to go back through my multiplication. 8 times 9 is 72. You done made your drink, you done paid for, you done got way over what you paid for your drink package right there. Right there. And then you need some water too. Get you a couple of bottles of water, drink some water. Then in the morning you want a specialty coffee. So yeah, it pays itself. I believe the mocktails are included with that, right? What is a mocktail? I don't really drink, so I can't get fancy non-alcoholic drinks. Then maybe drink packaging. Well, if you don't drink and if you got a cabin mate, Rainbow, I'm gonna assume you're gonna probably do a cabin by yourself. I'm gonna assume that. Or if you do a cabin with somebody else like you who don't drink, get the bubble package. Get the bubble package. And that will include your little mocktails. The bubble package is the non-alcohol package. That's the package that includes your okay. Yeah. Get the bubble package. And that'll cover those. Yeah. Yeah. But if you're in the cabin with somebody else who drink, and they want the drink package, you got to get the drink package. But if you don't drink that much, it might be worth it. It might come out better for y'all, especially if y'all together and paying together. If y'all under one ticket, you have to kind of add it up. Determine how much you're going to drink, how much the person in the cabin with you going to drink, and then you determine whether it's worth it for you. It's always worth it for me. Everybody I travel with drink like me. They all drink like me. So, but if you're not, hey, Miss Gerald, but if you don't drink that much, don't worry about it. Don't get it. You don't need to get it. Don't get it. What else was I going to talk about in this thing? I think that's all. I was just mainly talking about this drink package. I hit on a little bit of the birth certificate passport thing. Y'all, please go the night before. Please go the night before. Every morning I watch cruise news, and this morning the cruise news was about people who did not go the night before, and they lost everything because their flight didn't get there. If you're driving, let's say if you live in Daytona and you're driving up to Miami, something happened with your vehicle, unless you're going to leave. Like, I was supposed to take a cruise in November. Most of you know, I got a baby coming. I found out I had a baby coming. And ain't no way I'm going to be out in the middle of the water when my baby come. Or my baby be born and I got a newborn and I take a cruise right after the baby born. Can't do it. So I was supposed to be taking one in November. Can't do it. And, God, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, and it was going to be right out of Charleston. And I live 5 hours away from Charleston. 4.5 hours. I can get there in 4.5 hours. Well, even though I can get there in 4.5 hours, I was still planning on leaving like 3 a.m. in the morning. It'd be better for me, or maybe like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, just in case I have a breakdown or something. Something happened. Then that gives me extra cushion time of the same day. So, but if you flying in from out of town, you don't want to leave the same day. You don't want to do that. Red Hockey said he is bringing his own bar as a carry-on. He's teasing y'all. He's trying to set y'all up. If you get caught with drinks, they're gonna hold those drinks to the end of the cruise. Sometimes they give it back. Sometimes they don't. Hey, all me baby. Yeah, please leave the day before. 300. Have you been seeing those cruise reports? There was one family that lost $58,000 through Norwegian. Y'all don't trust them Norwegian folk talking about fly through us. We'll make sure you get there. They booked their air flight through Norwegian. Their cruise was booked through Norwegian. The flight was canceled and they lost all their money. $58,000. There was some other people. I don't know who they was going through. They lost $11,000. And guess what they got back? $500. They got the insurance, but the insurance only covered $500 in the cruise. So they lost $11,000. Leave the day before. Leave the day before. Just pre-game. That's what we call it. When we get there the day before, we call it pre-gaming. You know, if we say, oh, cruise start on the 29th. No, the cruise start on the 28th because we're pre-gaming. We're getting to our cruise port and we're going to start our vacation that day. Okay? So just go the day before. Just count that all in. Hotel rates. I was looking in Miami. And the Hyatt have some very nice rooms close, 1 mile away from the water. If you put down government, I ain't telling you to do something you aren't supposed to do, but let's just say they don't never check. They don't check in most cases. Unless you get some butthole up there act like they own the hotel, but they don't check. Put down senior rate. Put down government rate. Go ask the people that you work with who travel a lot. What's our company's discount rate? Plug that number in there. Get you these discounts, okay? So the Hyatt, the one near the airport is cheapest, but don't be near the airport. You're away from everything. But there was a Hyatt a mile away from the beach, and the one downtown was $141. The Hilton was running between about $132. Check with Jay Wilson concerning the True. He can use his travel. He's a travel agent, so he can get you in with that, hopefully still. But go ahead and get your room. They're not going to charge you till you get there. And the cancellation is 2 days before you get there in case you want to change your mind and cancel. So go ahead and get those while the rates. So the closer you get to it, the higher those rates are going to go up. I think that's all. Norwegian should make that right because that much money sounds like they had the Haven Club package. They included, the person said they called in and they spoke with somebody, and Norwegian, you can get your airline ticket along with your ticket through Norwegian. You can just do it all, and that's exactly what they did. And their flight was canceled, and they couldn't get the cruise couldn't get there before the ship left, and they were out of cruise, out of vacation, out their money. And the travel insurance cover, but so much. Sometimes you have to be sick. Watch them travel insurance. Sometimes you have to be sick or something like that. The cruise that I had to cancel, I ended up losing. I was supposed to lose my deposit of $98, but they ended up giving me a $50 credit. So I really consider myself have only lost. What was that? Would have left $48. Because I consider that credit money because I am going to cruise again. I just don't want to be on the ship at that time. Miss Cruise, like I said, I would work on the pier of South Boston. And yes, white people show up the day before because they can't afford. Oops, I hope I ain't timed nobody out. I was trying to read this. If I did, I'll fix it. Hold on, what did that say? I couldn't see it. Because they can afford it, black people always listen. Let me tell you something. Red Wings hockey. I have noticed lately that white folks be showing up late, just like the rest of us. And if black folks can afford a room the night before, if white folks can afford it, so can black folks. Now, we gonna cut that out. All right, so that's all the information that I have. And again, this video was because of Tracy's at the very, very beginning. Somebody told Tracy that you don't get the Cheers package, or you don't get that drink the day before. Oh, I'm glad I just seen Noble Right gratuity. I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that gratuity. But I saw somebody say that you don't get a day of, and I wanted to make sure that we get the information out that you can. I'm going to tell you, 300 says, yeah, don't be afraid of cruise. Cruising is just like flying. Once you do it, you're going to want to do it all the time. Yeah. Once you're going to get it. If you like it and you don't get sick, you're going to be addicted. And they say that flying is safer than driving. And guess what? Cruising is safer than flying. We drive every day. But anyway, you can't. If somebody got a fear, I'll listen. If I'm doing a group cruise or I'm hanging out with some friends and we getting together in group cruise and we got somebody in there that just totally scared, I don't be trying to convince that person to go because I don't want them to worry me the whole time that they scared. I be like, nah, go on, stay home. Go on, stay home. You got to be okay. Gratuity. Now I talked about they already add the gratuity when you buy the Cheers package. Put that out your mind. Put that out your mind. Let's talk about gratuity. Prepaid gratuity for your cruise period. Whether you put that, because that's two different gratuities. If on your cruise, prepaid gratuities. On your Cheers package, an additional prepaid gratuity. But put that Cheers package, put that drink package out of your mind. You're going on the cruise. And you'll notice once you get on the ship, they'll ask you when you book your cruise, do you want to go ahead and prepay for the gratuity? And you can say yes or no. When you get on the cruise, the first charge you're going to show up is that daily gratuity. Y'all going to get mad at me. I have been in arguments in travel groups because of this, and in different lives, in different travel sector lives because of what I'm about to say. Every single time I cruise, I have them to take off the prepaid cruise gratuity. Judge me. Every single time I cruise, I go right over there to customer service and tell them I do not want to participate in the prepaid gratuities. I do not want to participate in y'all choosing my gratuities. Why? Why do I do that? Is it because I'm stingy? No. What they do with that gratuity, let me explain it. I know red hockey, but you know how we are about black people. What they do with that gratuity is shared. So let me give you an example of what I mean. You have somebody who comes in every day and clean your room. You need more towels, they're the ones that's going to get it. You got questions, they're the ones that's answering it. You need a wine glass or a wine cork, they're the one that's going to get it. You want extra service for your room, they're the ones that's going to get it. Every time you open that door, that person's standing out there to do whatever it is that you ask them that you want and that you need. They're there. Okay? What they do with that all of that gratuity don't go to them. They are one of the people who get one of the smallest amounts of that money. That money is split between, let me see what it is, because I want to tell the truth. Prepaid cruise gratuity, how is that money split?
According to the points guide, cruise lines say they pass the money collected from service charges to the shipboard crew. They say the money is shared not just with front-of-house crew, such as room attendants and waitstaff, but also with behind-the-scenes workers.
So you giving money to people you ain't never seen, who may have never done a single thing for you. But the person, which is your room attendant, who's done a bunch of stuff for you, especially if you like me. I had one room attendant who actually took my clothes out the dryer for me. I was on a long cruise. It was way over 3 days, y'all. Way over 3 days. And so rather than packing a bunch of pajamas, because I don't know about y'all, but I ain't wearing the same pajamas to bed every night. And instead of, I pack about 2 or 3, and then I do laundry. Go right on in there, buy me a little itty bitty thing of little detergent, and throw it in there. Put my little card on and pay the little $2. And I've had attendants. Now they don't have to do this. Normally they won't do this, but I've had attendants to do this. Take my little laundry out, and put it in there, put it in my room for me. Put it in my room for me. They make you little animal things every time you now used to be every time you left your room and came back, you come back to a made up bed and a little animal thing. Now they cut that down some to save costs. But your room attendant is getting some of the least of the money. But all of these people that you may not see, your wait staff. What if you don't never go to the dining hall? What if you never ever go to the dining hall? You're tipping somebody you never seen. What is the front house crew? Who they? Who are them people? So this is what I do. I leave. I leave my room attendant most times is unless they was just awful, and that's rarely, almost never happened. It's happened about 2 times, but even they got $50. Most times I'm leaving them $100. Most times I'm leaving them $100. If they attended to me and they do all my running, I'm leaving them $100. Not prepaid, not through Carnival. I'm gonna give it to them in cash. That's more valuable to them than having to wait for their check, and they get tax, and they get country tax and ported tax and all of that. They got cash in their hands. The same thing for my wait staff. If I have a really, really good wait staff, because you wouldn't have the same wait staff every night. On your 3-day cruise and you go in the dining hall, now if you eat buffet and you'll never go step into that dining hall, it ain't gonna matter. But if you go in the dining hall every day like I do, you're gonna have the same wait staff. I tip my wait staff. I give them some money. So everybody get tipped. It's just not prepaid. Judge me. I don't do the prepaid. Carnival's not going to determine for me who I tip and how much I tip. I'm going to, and then they ain't going to be taking out port tax and give it. No, I'm going to give it to them. Okay, exactly. Tip your room attendant cash. I love the animal towel sculptures. Yes. I'll be bringing some nausea medicine just in case. I believe it's over the counter. Rainy Bell, I think I got a feeling you will be taken care of on that front. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, but if you want to take some extra, that's okay. But I ain't gonna say no more. But you few things, Rainy Bell, you gonna have. Anyway, but I was 3 months pregnant at the time on a 7-day cruise during New Year's. Oh yeah, 3 months pregnant, that's not bad. But listen. For all, we talking. By the time I would have went on my November cruise, the one I had for November 11th, that's the due date is November 6th. So either I already got the baby, because the baby came on the correct due date. Because y'all know when you have a baby, they give you a due date. Okay, the baby's due November 6th. Okay, so that means you the baby may not come on that day. It might be like, I ain't ready yet. It might be more like the 15th. So either I could have been on water and labor happened, or a little bit earlier and then I'm on water and the baby's only 2 weeks old. So I didn't want to do either one of those, so I canceled. Ray Black asked, do you feel the ship moving? Yes, especially if the waters are choppy, then yes, you can feel the ship moving. I always see people want to go to the top of the ship in the Lido deck, and I love staying on the Lido deck. It's quicker to everything I want to go to. I love staying on the Lido deck, or the 10th deck. I love that. People want to stay on the high deck. I always suggest, if it's your first time cruise and you can get sick, motion sickness in a car, don't stay up. Don't stay top. At the top, you're going to feel everything. At the bottom, you barely feel anything. So I always suggest people on their first time cruise to try to stay on the lower deck. But everybody think if you stay on the lower deck, that means you poor. We just silly. Sometimes we just get stuff just because we just silly. But I like staying on Lido deck. But I don't care. I'll stay on 2. I'll stay on 2. I'll stay on 3. I don't care. But yeah, you do feel it. Some cruise, if the waters, it just depends on the waters. If it's windy and the water's choppy, then yeah. The very first cruise I had ever been on, my very, very, very first cruise. When I tell you that sucker was leaning over to the side that same night, the water was real choppy. It didn't bother me though. It's never bothered me. But when I got on that cruise, the first thing I did was get me something to eat. I didn't eat till I was full, like, sick full, but I did eat till I was satisfied. And I was told to do that by my husband, who was in the Army, who used to travel with the Navy. And those Navy guys taught him that. He was transportation. He was in a transportation unit. So sometimes he would, what he called, catch a ride with the Navy. Hop on an Army guy hopping on a Navy ship to get over to another country. And those Navy guys told him, when you get on this ship, before we pull this anchor, you make sure that you're satisfied, that you're not hungry. It's gonna be less likely that you're gonna get sick Why do I think it's better to be at the bottom of the ship? Because them guys used to tease him, and they would call him Jonah. And they would say, Jonah, we're about to go through some rough waters. Go on down to the bottom. Because he wasn't Navy, so he wasn't used to sailing. He was Army. So they say, go on down to the bottom of the ship. And so, because you're going to feel less. So that's why I say the bottom of the ship and eat till you're satisfied and you won't feel motion. I've never felt motion sick. I have never, ever, ever, ever felt motion sickness. Not even my first cruise. And that first cruise was a little rough. That sucker was rocking. It was leaning to the side, felt like. Let's see if I forgot anything. I could talk about cruising all day. All day. I love it. I love it. I love it. But please understand, cruising is not the only way I've ever traveled. I've flown over to country, straight over. Yeah. Somebody said something about Royal. Royal had package, I think it's called, I forgot what their package is called. Theirs is pretty much like Carnival's. I think it's very similar. I think the two packages are very similar. We had it, my sister, we the last time I was on Royal was 2016, my sister's 50th birthday. And so we had it on there. We cruised out of Port Canaveral. And first day, by the time my sister got to dinner, honey, she was drunk. Okay? So I know you get it the same day because she was drunk by the time she got to dinner. So Royal and Carnival are very similar. I did a video, I put it up on my wall. I did a video 4 years ago comparing Royal against Carnival. And I like Royal. I like Carnival. I like Carnival better because I'm a party girl. Now, if you're not a party girl like me, you probably like Royal better. Royal have better service. I think Carnival have bigger rooms. In my opinion, they have bigger cabins. Royal don't have that extra. In Carnival, they have that extra little sofa bench looking thing. Royal, I've never had a Royal cabin that had that. And I like that in my room. That little bench looking, y'all know what I'm talking about, those of you who travel by Carnival. That little orange or yellow looking little bench. Royal don't have that. They just have your bed in there and like a chair with the vanity. So I think Carnival have the larger cabins. Royal have, some people say they have better food. I don't agree. Royal do have better service, better customer service, better service on the ship. Royal ships are their shows, like the shows in the theaters and stuff that the crew put on. They're better on Royal than they are on Carnival. You can hardly find them shows on Carnival. But Carnival have better comedy shows and better comedians. Carnival have better clubs. Carnival have better DJs. Carnival is a party ship. So I'm a party girl. I like to dance. I like clubbing. I like comedy shows. I like Carnival. But I also like Royal. I enjoy Royal. All cruise ships drink packages are basically the same, so differ in the amount that they give you per day, but for the most part they're the same. I agree, 300. They're about the same. Red Ring said, just throw up in the water. You get caught throwing something in that water, throwing up in the water. I know you joking. Blank stare. Hey, good morning. All right, so that's all I have. This went way longer. This went way longer than I thought it was going to go. I am here for the show today. I found it creepy looking at the sea at night. It's vast, blacker than 1,000 midnights, but it's amazing. Yeah, you don't want to stare at it too hard or stand too close to the railing, but yeah, it is amazing. And I like to get up. I rarely sleep on the cruise. I rarely sleep on the cruise because I go to bed every night. Honey, I close the club out. Then again, let me take that back. I don't. When they start playing that hippity hip hop music, okay, when you first get to the club, the first thing they have is Latin night. They have Latin night. So after they have Latin night, they have they have Latin, and that's every night. So that's usually first. I love watching that. It's amazing the way they dance. I wish I could do it. So after that, they go into club, and they play R&B, they play, old school rap, old school stuff. They kind of build it up. So when they get to this new hippity hop, pop, bop stuff that you can't dance to, I be saying my goodbyes at that point. But then I go on around there to the pizza place because the pizza place still open to get me some pizza before I go to bed. So usually I go to sleep around 2 a.m. in the morning, sometimes later, because I'm up running around the ship. But I get up literally about 5 a.m. So I sleep about 3 hours at the most, 2, 3, 4 hours at the most, usually 3, because I want to see the sunset in the morning. I mean, the sunrise. I want to see the sunrise in the morning. And it's a beautiful thing to be sailing and see that sunrise. And I don't like to miss it. I take one in a carry-on. And Rainy Bow, like, on a 3-day, you don't want to do you in a carry-on. You sometimes carry on, sometimes not. A little bag with little other things in it. But most times I can get everything in my one. A lot of times I can get everything in my one suitcase. For y'all only gonna be on there for 3 days. When I'm on a 5-day or a 7-day, I still take one and a little carry on, and I mean a little one. It don't be big. It don't be on no bigger than a book bag. Because again, I do laundry. And I don't laundry like my main clothes, but like my little shorts and tank tops and my pajamas. Then I just take me a little. You can buy it on the cruise for a little bit extra. You can take it with you. I just take me a little bottle of detergent or a little box of, whether you get it by the powder or you get it by the liquid, and I do laundry one night. It don't take long. So I don't want to be pulling a bunch of bags. You cruise a lot. Who has the best pizza? The cruise lines you've cruised on. They're about the same. I think. They're about the same. It was anything. Yeah, I don't see much difference. Now, Royal don't have Guy's Burger, and if y'all ain't never had a Guy's Burger, oh God, it's delicious. And I'm not even into hamburgers like that. It's delicious. I don't know whether it's because it's on the cruise. No, it's delicious. It ain't because it's delicious. I have not been on the cruise since 2005. I'm not a fan of the food. I get seasick. I'd rather fly. Yeah, Robin, everybody's not a cruise person. I have a brother-in-law who just don't like it. I have an uncle who just don't like it. We went with the church one time, and we had a few people who refused to leave their cabin. They ate in their cabin and everything. So it ain't for everybody. You'll know immediately if you like it, and people who don't like it. And that's why it's good. I see people who have put down the 3-day cruise, and I don't like it. And after Juicycation, I'm gonna talk about after Beefsteak the Cruise. Of course, I'm gonna do a video because I'm a Beefsteak the YouTuber. So I'm gonna do a video, and I'm gonna be honest about my video. But I'm gonna talk about those people who put down this cruise before the cruise. I thought that was so mean. Now I understand that you may not like the two content creators who's doing the cruise, and maybe it was just a little bit of beefing with them. But for those who going on the cruise, I just hate shaming. I hate shaming. Okay, you can afford a little bit better, or you have more vacation time where you can do a little bit better. So what? That's just so ugly. God giveth and God taketh away. And humble yourself, hon. Humble yourself. And then for people who have not cruised before, I think a 3-day is perfect. If you don't like it, then you're not miserable for 5 and 6 days. But if you do like it, then you can plan your next one, and you ain't broke the bank. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. And really, this is a meet and greet type cruise, like Beef Sector meet and greet. So 3 days is good. It's good. So, a balcony room worth getting. I'm a reader, and I want one to use for calm and quiet and sunrise and sunset. On me, baby, yes. Just be careful. I can swim, and I swim well. But let me tell you something. I do not go on that balcony when the ship is out in the middle of the sea. I don't go out there. Folks falling off the ship too much for me. I don't go out there. I go out there when the cruise is ported. And if I do go out there, I'm holding on to everything. Because as much as I can swim, it ain't going to help me if I fall over that rail. I don't get nowhere near that. Stay away from that rail. If the boat is rocking, don't go out there. So just be careful. But yes, it's beautiful scenery. What I did on my last cruise, I had I had a scenic view. The window was the whole wall. The wall facing, like if you got a balcony, instead of having a sliding door there, that was a whole window. From the top of the ceiling to the bottom of the floor, from one side to the other side. It was a whole thing. It didn't open, but, it didn't open at all. You just had a little button that you push, and it raised the little blinds up and it raised the blinds down when you wanted privacy. But that's what I got, because I could see out of there without having to be out there. And then if I wanted to, really be out there or lay out there, I would go up on the 10th deck, or the little deck is usually on 9, usually. The 10th deck is usually where the children are not allowed. And that's also the smoking area. If the ship allows smoking, and most ships still do, there's a designated area, and I think that's on 10. Noble, I don't know whether Noble smoke or not, but that's on 10. And that's also, I think they call it the Serenity deck, but whatever it's called, no children allowed up there. You can smoke up there, and it's adult air only, and that's another nice place to go to read. I used to go up there at midnight, just sit up there at the highest deck and all of that. So if you don't want to get a balcony room and you just have a view, which is a little bit cheaper, you still can go on the Lido deck anytime. So I think that's everything I mainly wanted to cover. No, I don't even know what that is. Transatlantic. What's a transatlantic cruise? Yeah, 300 said you can crawl before you walk. Wed rings, people used to smoke weed up there. They used to smoke the marijuana, but now they got the dogs on all the Carnival cruise. They got the dogs on the cruise, so ain't gonna be no more smelling of the marijuana. Hallelujah for those of us who do not smoke. Thank you, Lord. But for cigars and cigarettes, let me see if I can get to something. I hope I don't dock myself for what I'm about to do. If I still got it. Come on. Okay. Yep. It worked out. So, those of you who are going on beefcation, this was on my community tab. This was also on my community tab. But this guy, Zach, is your cruise director. You will see this gentleman. Zoom in if you can. Zoom in if you can. Let me see if I can zoom in. This dude right here. That's your cruise director. And what a cruise director do is he's the one who plan all your carnival fun, all of your activities and your funds. And he did this posting on July 15th and that is for your September cruise. It's for August and September for this September cruise. I can't get it out. He said, "Hey, Carnival Conquest family, if you are cruising on the Conquest in the near future, the theme nights and fun parties you can expect is 80s and 90s parties. So bring your 80s and 90s gear. Mega deck party. Love and marriage. If you going as a couple, you can do the love and marriage game. If you're married, if you're not, you can do the dating game. 80s pops to the max. One elegant night. And y'all already know about that's Captain Night, where you dress elegant. For those of you who will be going to Captains. We ain't going to worry about that on the 4-day run, because that's not a 4-day run. It's a 3-day. So those are the things. Let me see if I got the movie list on here. Nope, I don't have them. I took the movie list off. But there is a movie list for your dive-in movies. So. All right, I've overtalked this. I've talked long enough. Thank y'all for coming in. Hey, Miss Queenie98, thank you for coming in. Meets Red Wings hockey. I don't get randomly tested anymore, or it's been many, many years. But I still don't do it. But if they make it legal in North Carolina because of these arthritis pains that hits me sometimes, I would probably do an edible rather than taking Tylenols and things. But I don't smoke. I don't think I'm not into smoking. Um, when repositioning ships in Europe, like Royal sent Symphony of the Seas over Europe. No, I've never been to Europe on a cruise. Not on a cruise. I've never been to Europe on a cruise. So no, I haven't done this transitional. All right, y'all. So I've overtalked this. I was supposed to do another like a beef sector type thing talking about these court dates, but I may have to do it later. But thank y'all for coming in. Hopefully I was able to answer some questions. If there's any more Captain's dinner is not every night. No. It's one night that they dress up and they'll tell you what that. I'm glad you said that. Let me tell y'all about the hub. See, every time somebody asks a question, it'd be something else. My moderators, I understand if you have to leave. I've been talking a long time. So when you get on the ship, download the Carnival Hub. Download the Carnival Hub. What the Carnival Hub is it's their internet. And it's free to download the Hub app. You can delete it when you leave. The Hub is going to show you everything. It's going to tell you what night Captain's Night is. It's going to tell you what time the Comedy Zone open. It's going to tell you what time the club open. It's going to tell you where every game is on ship. It's going to tell you everything going on ship, and you can plan your day. You can even put in there for a reminder, for it can remind you certain events or activities that you want to go to. So the Carnival Hub app is free to download. If you want to keep up with friends that's in your group, you pay $5, and then y'all can all be in a group and locate each other and talk to each other through this Hub app. It costs you $5. If you have the internet package, you're gonna need the Carnival Hub app for your internet package to work. I don't care which one you have, you're gonna need the Carnival Hub app. So make sure you get that Hub app. Yeah, the Corvette. The Rona, wear your mask. As Andrew Caldwell said, wear your mask. There is on Facebook, there is a recall group. That recall group, they are hiding duckies. So they're hiding duckies. They're doing gift exchange. They're getting to know each other on the recall group. Also, you may want to consider joining SHIP. I did a video the other day and I went through a lot of excursions that you can buy through Shipmate. You can get your excursions on Carnival. Carnival is the safest way to get your excursions. That means you're going to get back on time and everything's going to be included and you're going to be taken care of. But you can also get it on Shipmate. Shipmate, a lot of them give you guaranteed return ship time. And I went through a lot of those, like the Margaritaville, the new water park, the different beaches, the different little excursions. Let's go out, and I went through the price and what it includes on the video I did the other day. So check that out. But you may want to consider joining Shipmate and downloading that app. But you will need the Carnival Hub and you can wait till a couple of days before you get on the ship to do that, because there ain't nothing gonna be out there for you right now. But all of these are little different things to make your cruise easier. You going the week before? Is it on the same ship? No. Now, if you go in the dining hall to eat dinner, then there is a dress code, but the only time this formal night is just one night, and they'll tell you usually it's not the first night of the ship. Usually they wait for the second night, because the first night they're waiting on their luggage to come to their room. They're getting checked in. Mustard drill. Somebody asked last night about the mustard drill. What is the mustard drill? The mustard drill, when you first get on the ship cannot sell out until everybody's gone through the mustard drill. The mustard drill is where they go through a safety briefing. Carnival and Royal used to pull everybody out on the deck, and you sitting there touching each other and hot as crap doing this mustard drill, line up like a fire drill, like you it used to have nice lines, but you would just be hot standing there on that deck, seeing like you were shoulder to shoulder, breast to breast. Now they do it a different way because of COVID. They may take you in like a theater hall, group by group, to do it. The last time I was on the cruise, we went out. They told us to go out on the deck. It was about 5 of us standing around one crew member. They said, have you cruised before? We said, yes. They said, do you want to see this mustard drill? Do you need to see it? We said, no. We walked away. There was a few people who had not cruised before. They said, yes, we want to see it. And they stood there and they showed them and they went through it with them. So the mustard drill is not as bad as it used to be. Those of us who used to try to avoid it because you had to stand out there on deck, it's not like that anymore. Or you with a crowd of people. It just take a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the most. They give you your safety precautions, and they check off your cabin that you and whoever's in your cabin did it, and you go on about your merry way. So, yeah, there's multiple places you can eat for free. You can go to the buffet. You can get pizza. You can get sandwiches. You can get hamburgers if you're on the Carnival. There's many taco. They have a taco thing on the other side of the hamburger. So I just like to go. I like to go to dining. I don't like buffets, so I go to dining both. I go to dining both for breakfast and for dinner. Now lunch you have to go to the buffet. There's no dining. Every now and then they might have something in the dining, but for the most part the dining is closed for lunch. But I go there in the morning for breakfast. And I go there, and in breakfast, you can sit anywhere you want. You just check in, and they tell you where to sit. Well, they tell you can't sit where you want, but you check in. But for dinner, you're going to sit in the same spot every single night. And you're going to have the same wait staff every single night for your dining. But anyway, with that, I'm done. Thank y'all for coming in. Yeah, all the food, included in your cruise package. Included in your cruise package is, of course, your cabin. Food, whether it's buffet or the dining. So your cabin, food, water, and tea. Water, tea, or lemonade. And when I say water, I mean water out the faucet. Not no bottled water. But so I should really say tea or lemonade. Or faucet water. Tap water. Yes. Beach towels, as long as you give them back. If you forget to take them back, they're gonna charge you $25. So yeah, and whatever, getting off at a port, that's all included. So yeah, your food is included, unless you want to go to some specialty restaurant. Some of the specialty restaurants is not included. The only time I pay for food is they have this seafood shack, and it's not really a restaurant. You get it like takeout. You stand in line, you get it, you take it back to your cabin and eat it, or you go in the little dining area, not the dining area, but the little area outside, the little tables outside the buffet to eat it on the Lido deck. I usually get that because they have like crab legs, so you can get a crab or you can get a lobster, with some seafood, scallops and different things that they may not have in the dining hall. So I do that for like lunch one day. I use the seafood shack, but other than that, I don't pay for food when I get on the cruise. And I don't do that every night. I might do that one day. But no, I don't be paying for no food. Yeah. Even if I get off on the port, be like, you want to stop here to eat? No, I'm going to get back on the cruise and eat because I done paid for my cruise ticket. All right, I covered everything that I wanted to cover. And again, closer to the cruise, I will, for those who are interested, I'm sure that Jay Wilson and Vivian is taking care of it for their group. But I will go over the birth certificate and passports again. Check your passport, make sure that sucker ain't expired. When I was about to go to Jamaica, I just so happened to look at my passport one day, and it was a good 2 months before I was going to go to Jamaica, and realized that my passport was going to expire by the time of my trip. So I had to hustle, and you don't want your passport can't expire during your trip either. It's got to extend out towards your trip. So if you're using a passport, check that passport and make sure that date on there is okay. Because I just so happened to look at it. And I said, oh my God. And I wasn't going on no cruise. I was flying over to Jamaica. That means that I needed my passport. So I had enough time to renew it. And renewing it is just like getting another. You got to start all over again. Go down to the CVS, to the Walgreens, take your picture. Because they don't do it no more at the post office. And then go over, then pull the application down offline. And then fill it out and take it all over to the post office and mail it over there to them and wait on your passport to come back. And when you renew your passport, they send back your old one. But they just punch holes in it. And then you get your new one. So I have 2 passports. One expired with a bunch of holes punched in. Actually, I got 3. I got one from when we was in the military, but But those have expired with holes punched in it. And then I got my new one. Anyway, with that, I'm out. Y'all have a great day. This is Cruiser. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank y'all for enduring me this long time.